Here's my thing. When I was watching that game, I was watching the fourth quarter. To me, just watching all of the snaps from Bo Nix, it was just bad Giants. A
Mm.
lot of it was really just bad Giants. I will say that Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims made some amazing plays. Bo Nix, he had that one scramble that got him 20, 30 yards. Bo Nix,
Scored a touchdown too.
he did score a touchdown, and then I think he also had this one play late in the game. He made something out of nothing. I think it was a throw to Marvin Mims, and it was in tight coverage. It looked like a broken play. So yeah, Bo Nix, he made some plays, but I think for the most part, this comes down to the Giants' ineptitude, in my opinion. And this loss, I think that's the nail in the coffin for Brian Dable's tenure as the Giants head coach. He had a small chance to potentially save his job. But I think this game is just everything wrong with Brian Daybill's tenure as the head coach of the Giants. Is it some unfortunate circumstances? Absolutely, with the whole Daniel Jones situation and injuries to the offensive line, etc. But then you have to look at around the league and how some teams are able to overcome certain deficiencies, certain flaws, and still win games, still be competitive. To me, this game just showed us why we have to stop giving Brian Dable excuses and just point to him and point to the fact that this team overall just doesn't have the right leadership, coaching in place to be a competitive football team going forward. It doesn't matter how smart of a play caller Brian Dable is. And to be honest, I've heard for many weeks now how he's not the greatest play caller in the world either. So I just think after the season, I know you don't want to do this. I know it's not the greatest thing to do with a young quarterback getting another head coach, but I believe there needs to be a new voice. There needs to be a new culture in place if the Giants want to see any sort of improvement because we see Jackson Dart is showing some flashes. He's making the Giants more fun to watch. I just think if you want to be competitive from both sides of the football, not just offense, but also defense, you need a new GM and you need a new head coach. And that starts after the season. I would give Brian Dable the remaining of the season, but after the season's over, I think he needs to go. That's just how the way I look at this game. What about you?
Um, if I was in charge of the New York Football Giants, and thank the Lord I'm not because it is a mess over there. Someone getting fired after that. That is unacceptable. The defensive coordinator, you give up 33 points in a quarter, and you think you should have a job on Monday? Are you insane? He would have been like Jamal Adams when his key card wasn't working or the code wasn't working. His stuff would have been out front of the training facilities. That is unacceptable. The score, matter of fact, let me pull up the score. I believe the score with 5 minutes left in the game was 20.
Was it 20 something to 16
It was
or
26-8
26 to 8? Yeah.
with 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
And then it turned 26-16, 26-23, and then 26-30. Then the Giants actually went down there and scored a touchdown. Maybe got a little skeptical pass interference call, whatever, but they scored.
Yeah.
40 something seconds left. You missed the extra point. So now a field goal beats you. And then
Mhm.
lo and behold, Bo Nix makes two throws and they're in striking distance. So that was just an ultimate collapse. That is one of the most Giants ways to lose a football game. And that is ridiculous. I think Brian Dable, he's going to be axed after this season. They need a new voice. And honestly, I think personally, the Giants maturity issue.
Oh,
Because you
talk
got
about
Brian Dable. First of all, let's talk about Brian Dable. Let's talk about this. Brian Dable, he looks like a guy, or he's operating like a guy that knows his job is on the line. First, you going into the tent harassing the medical staff, trying to get your clearly concussed QB back on the field. Then this week, everybody celebrating like they just won the game once it was still 40-something seconds left. Y'all thought y'all had the game wrapped up after that Theo Johnson touchdown, that another miraculous play that happened. Tipped the ball right to Theo Johnson. He took it like 40 yards for a touchdown. It's ridiculous. There is a clear culture problem with that team. Brian Burns was frustrated after the loss. And they just gotta, from top to bottom, they gotta redo this whole thing, because how many times we going to see the same song? I mean, shoot, Daniel Jones leaves. He goes, he link up with Shane Steichen and them in Indianapolis. He playing best ball. It was like best record in the league right now.
Yeah.
So how much of Brian, he's out of here after this year.